What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, a flu test, or a test for some other virus, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive for any of the viruses, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term issues and no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Saturday edition of the Virus Update for Saturday, March 8th, 2025. If you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. You clicked onto the channel where I provide daily virus updates on all those viruses that can make us sick. That's right. As needed, I do daily updates, and that's pretty much been all winter long so far. I don't think we've missed a day of at least uploading something in a very long time. And why is that? Because, hey, there's a lot of viruses out there. There's a lot of people getting sick. Look, I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I am a concerned citizen that has turned into an independent reporter that reports on all these viruses that can make us sick. I myself have dealt with these viruses. Yes, COVID has hit me not once but twice, and now I go on and deal with long COVID issues. I want to raise awareness. I want to help prevent people from getting sick by alerting them of what is going on all around the world, not just the United States, but all around the world. Not every day do we have data from international countries, but some days we do. And I like to keep you informed of what is going on in these different places. So, want to come along for the ride? Subscribe to my channel down below. Give this video a thumbs up. The more people that hit that like button, the more YouTube is going to push out this content. We haven't hit 200 like button hits in a while. We're on the backside of the winter wave. We don't get viewed as much when that happens. So let's try for, let's say, 150 like button hits today. Share this video with anyone you know. Leave your comments down below. And, of course, remember to hit that notification bell. As noted, I did say we're on the backside of the winter wave. That is a good thing. That means the viruses are starting to come down. But they're not fully down yet. Flu is still high. COVID is entering uncertain territories. We've been watching the UK slowly starting to go back up again. Yeah, they're inching up again, so we'll have to see if that means anything for us down the line. And today we do start off with this flu news. And Virginia, we do have 2 Prince George County public school students who have died from the flu. Yeah, this is not good. And this is impacting multiple school districts there. And we've been seeing an increasing number of child age, under 18, kids under 18 dying of the flu this season. And I don't think we've seen the last of this yet, because remember, with these viruses, the death wave is always the last lagging thing. And right now we're in the death wave of the flu. Moving on now to this. Whooping cough continues to spread in Wyoming. Yeah, wait till you see this. There's some really interesting numbers here, and it's not a good thing. Wyoming Department of Health officials are concerned with the continued active current spread of pertussis. Now you're going to see, oh, it's not very high numbers. Remember, Wyoming's not one of the bigger states, but it's not a good thing. In 2024, they had 19 reported cases for the year. In 2023, 0. In 2022, 2. How many cases have they had so far this year? Let's go back up. Wyoming so far this year, and mind you, we're only at March 8th, already 30 confirmed pertussis cases. Already 30. And remember, last year they just had 19, and 2024 they had none. And we have the rest of this year to go. Yeah, there's a lot of viruses where the number of cases just continue to go up. We're going to show you another one, in case you didn't see during the week. I'll show you at the end of the news portion of this video. Alright, I need to show you this in the UK. Britain's among hardest hit by COVID fallout. And I'm just going to read this little excerpt here that Corona Heads Up put in their post. Life expectancy, homelessness, and young people's mental health were among the areas where Britain performed poorly. And we do know long COVID and heck, people who had existing problems before COVID who are concerned about trying to avoid getting infected from COVID, yeah, that's a big thing there. That's a big thing all over the world. I know people who are very concerned that if they get infected, it's really going to be a risk to them. It could be a deadly risk. So, yes, this is a real problem, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed in the UK. It's a problem that needs to be addressed all around the world. All right, moving on to a sports report today. Yes, you get a sports report today. We're like a regular news program, but it's for viruses. Andre Drummond, this is the Philadelphia 76ers. I got to show this to you because it's just really ridiculous what's going on in the NBA. Let's start off with this post first, then we'll go over to a tweet, a little mini thread I did earlier. Andre Drummond, illness, won't practice on Saturday. Tyrese Maxey did an individual session today. Maxey is unlikely to play for tomorrow. This was on March 8th that this was tweeted out. Paul George did not practice. He's out for tomorrow, and Andre Drummond didn't practice because he is sick. What is going on in the NBA? The NBA is having all kinds of problems. It's literally a round and round we go with the NBA. Here's that short little thread I did. There's the first part, which you already seen. And then I put in a second tweet. Before someone tells me not everything is COVID, yes, you're right. However, do you think it is a bit odd how many times big players all across the NBA have been out for illness this season? Not saying it is all COVID, but something is definitely going on, perhaps long COVID, and we don't even need to read this next tweet. Let's just click on this thread here, or from my website. This is the U.S. Sports Illness thread. It's now up to page 7. And mind you, I have missed many NBA illnesses over the past few weeks. Since I went back to work, a lot of my threads on the site I've fallen behind on. And I think with the NBA, I've literally just about given up trying to keep up with how many illnesses there have been. But if you come down here, it's at page 7 for a reason. I would say probably maybe 2 or 3 pages worth is nothing but the NBA. I'm not kidding you. And then we come down here, and you know what? It's not just the NBA. It's happening in college basketball as well. There's a lot of problems going on. Here you go. Dallas Mavericks have had problems. We can see the Washington Wizards have had several problems. On and on I could go. We're not going to continue going on with that. Now we have to go over to baseball. College baseball. FSU baseball. Jamie Arnold scratched due to, quote, illness. We keep seeing this word illness pop up in sports. Yeah, something's going on with sports, especially the NBA. All right, I do need to show you this. Measles outbreak in the U.S. continues to grow. This is in case you did not see, because who knows, maybe you're just clicking onto this video today, and you haven't seen me in a few days. Texas added 39 new cases yesterday, 198 total, 20 new cases in New Mexico, and not seen on here, New York added a case this week. Or excuse me, I think New York added 2 cases this week. Pennsylvania added a case this week. We've had LA, we've had Florida, we've had Washington, we've had Rhode Island. This year, yeah, there's been a lot of measles cases. We need to get an upper hand on this. Right now, it's not looking so. This has reminded me much of what happened a few years ago with Mpox. Remember, there were several different states reporting Mpox cases, and then the outbreaks continued to grow a little bit. And then eventually it went away. It's kind of similar here. I don't know here. I think this is worse, though. I do think this is getting bad. And mind you, there have now been 2 deaths in Texas from measles this year. All right, had to share this with you. We're still in the early stages of this poll, so I imagine more people are going to vote. I'll share you the final results tomorrow, unless we do the update before the final results are in. This is kind of more of a personal reason why I put this here. Did you have headaches post-COVID that took a long time to go away or never went away? And what made me do this was I have these headaches that I still get post-COVID, and today has been a really bad one. I've had the one that I've Googled it. I think they call it the thunderclap headache. It's where it hits you in the back. Yeah, that one's come back today. Haven't had that particular type of headache in a few weeks, so concerned about that. Still having a headache up top. And here's the results so far. 72 votes. 52.8% of people say yes. 47.2% say no. It's going to be very interesting to see the final results. I'll be flat out honest with you. I was not expecting to see yes ahead. I really wasn't. I thought, maybe it's going to be close, and at that, that would still be, hey, that's a large number of people. Hey, we're at 52.8% already. We'll see where this ends up tomorrow. That just changed. Now it's 51.3%. This could look completely different tomorrow, because at some point, either tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, I'll retweet it so more people can see this. But yeah, headaches, they are a real thing post-COVID. I have them. I'm going back to my doctor again on Wednesday. He wanted to see me in 10 to, or is it Thursday? Maybe it's Thursday. I think Wednesday is my next Exolar injection. Yeah, busy times for me, and we're going to a specialist down the line, too, for sleep issues, or tiredness issues, I should say. All right, in Canada, the viral activity levels are as follows. Yeah, didn't think it updated on Saturday. COVID-19, moderate. Flu A is high. Flu B is moderate. And RSV is moderate at this time. All right, taking a look at what's going on with air qualities today. And in case you're wondering, I did not call up my doctor and say, hey, we need to schedule another appointment. He actually wanted to see me again in 10 to 14 days. Yes, he's taken my long COVID serious, something that's very rare to see. And he actually said, oh, no, because from your winter infection, you have long COVID, which, yeah. Anywho, taking a look at the air qualities here. On the West Coast, we can see that a few problems in the San Francisco and San Diego area. Also some problems today in Texas, up through Oklahoma City. I'm going to have to investigate to what that's all about. Wouldn't surprise me if a random problem or two pop up on the East Coast because of the wildfire threat. And yes, I am aware that along the coast in the southeast, there have already been some wildfires. I haven't really looked much into it, but yes, I have heard about that, which is not a good thing whatsoever. All right, moving on because we have a lot more things to take a look at. Philadelphia, 736 EMS incidents reported on Friday, and you know what? We skipped over Pinellas County. But you know what? It's not very busy there today. There are 3 sick person calls, a few other calls. We've seen this get a lot busier other times. Take a look at this. A person fell down, a fall, and 41 minutes the ambulance is waiting to discharge at the hospital. That's not good. All right, this is also not good. Looks like Montgomery County for his Saturday. This is busy. I'm seeing several different things show. Head injury, abdominal pains, a lot of head injury calls. I'm not sure what that's all about. Respiratory emergency. I've seen a lot of them today, and I can actually report to you. I was doing deliveries in Montgomery County, mainly Montgomery County this week. Had a couple in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I have had several where it says we're either sick, and one, I told you this story already. One, I was delivering what was likely some sort of an antiviral. I hit the Ring doorbell and he says, can you just leave it outside? Which we're not really supposed to do with prescriptions, but in this case, yeah, it's staying outside. He says, leave it outside. I have COVID. So yeah, it is a real issue. The viruses are still out there. And remember, each and every region in the United States or city, it's going to go up. It's going to happen differently. Some areas may go up when the national trend is down. Some areas may go down when the national trend is up. That's the way it works. Every area is different. You know, you have a lot of different local climates. You have sporting events. You have all kinds of different things that dictate what may be happening in your area. Chester County, yes, some calls right now. Sick person, respiratory difficulty. So yes, there are some things going on there. Hospital situation in Pennsylvania, not terrible at all. We do see one South Central PA hospital. Lehigh Valley is much better than we have seen. Southeast PA, it's not bad, but I would like to see what happens in a couple weeks. We've been talking about this. There are 2 hospitals in Delaware County. Yes, I actually said it right today. 2 hospitals in Delaware County that could be shutting down completely unless nothing is done. And hey, if that happens, I heard that's 3,000 people out of a job. Yeah, that's not good. In the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, yes, there is still a hospital with an issue there. In New Jersey, just one psychiatric issue today at University Hospital. Everywhere else is in the green. That is very good to report. All right, moving on to New York State. Yesterday's report was 1,140 cases, and the hospitalization number was 750 people in the hospital. Maybe we'll look at some more areas in New York State tomorrow if it's not a busy news day. We're going to skip over wastewater for now, so we'll get to plenty of wastewater tomorrow in the Sunday wastewater update. Let me know, do you like it when we do the wastewater update on Sunday, or do you want more mixed in during the weekdays? Sometimes it's hard because sometimes we do get busy news days. The latest COVID variant is LP.8.1 at this time. The latest update from the influenza-like illness activity map shows the majority of the United States is starting to decrease. You can see here more green starting to show up. Hopefully in the coming weeks that will continue. Taking a look at epidemic status, and we can see here it is likely growing for COVID in South Carolina, Mississippi, and Alaska. Everywhere else is likely declining, or not changing at all. And then when we come down here, nowhere is likely growing or growing for flu at this time. Everywhere is either not changing, not estimated, likely declining, or declining at this time. Taking a look at emergency department visits for COVID, and take a look at this. We are going down like a sliding board. That is a really good thing to report. And taking a look at what is going on with hospital inpatient capacity in the United States, and we can see that has gone up a little bit. So we will have to investigate that. We're not going to go state by state today. We will probably do that like we did last week. I have last week's report right here, and we'll probably do that on whatever day ends up being a slow news day next week. So whichever day that is, that's the day we will do this. And maybe tomorrow will be the day that we go state by state with the ER visits for people diagnosed with COVID. Already, I do need to show you Colorado, and we can see everything in Colorado is coming down. The positivity rate for COVID is 2.32%. Influenza is 13.63%. That's really starting to drop nicely. RSV is still at 10.46%. That is dropping. The hospital numbers are dropping. Chicago, everything is either stable or coming down. Influenza is still moderate at this time. RSV activity is moderate, and COVID is moderate. And we do see here in wastewater a little bit of an increase in COVID, but not terribly concerning at this time. Alrighty, taking a look at some numbers now from CJS. We have a lot of them, so I want to allow some more time for that. First off is Thursday up. The New York State daily number was 1,232 new cases. Puerto Rico, the daily number was 287 new cases and 1 new death. And he added a note. They had a later update for their last of the day, which partly accounts for the higher case count. Colorado, 7 deaths reported. This is weekly now. All these are weekly for the rest of Thursday. Colorado, 7 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker on Friday. Connecticut, 483 new cases and 13 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Indiana, 1,524 new cases and 34 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Still some high numbers coming out of Indiana. Remember, I think they do every other week. I forget in Indiana. Kentucky, 1,182 new positive tests and 27 deaths reported by the CDC. Massachusetts, 760 new cases, a net total, and 15 new deaths. Minnesota, 1,058 new cases and 18 new deaths. North Carolina, 517 hospital visits and 28 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. New Mexico, 330 new cases and 3 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Per the CDC data tracker, New Mexico has now exceeded 10,000 total COVID deaths. Ohio, 3,190 new cases and 44 new deaths. The CDC data tracker had a similar number of Ohio deaths this week. Utah, 307 people added to their living with COVID tab and 2 new deaths. Washington, D.C., 138 new cases over the past 2 weeks and 1 death reported by the CDC data tracker. This is their first death reported by the CDC data tracker since before Thanksgiving. Already, before I give you his Friday report, let's stop and take the hydration break. I sometimes forget to do this. I actually have a note in front of me now that says, remember, water break, or whatever drink. And today is water. Alrighty, isn't that refreshing? Alrighty, continuing on. He has a lot of numbers for us on Friday. New York on Friday had 1,192 new cases reported for a daily number. This week they reported 6,721 cases over the last 7 days, as well as 33 deaths, which puts New York over 85,000 total COVID deaths, per the CDC provisional count, which the state uses, in addition to 722 CDC reported hospitalizations, which is actually a slight increase over the last week. Puerto Rico, 108 new cases and 2 new deaths reported. today, that's meaning yesterday, and 983 cases and 3 deaths reported over the past 7 days. Alabama, 209 CDC reported hospitalizations and 19 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Arizona, 997 new cases reported by the state on Wednesday and 13 deaths reported by CDC data tracker. Arkansas, 102 CDC reported hospitalizations and 6 deaths. California, 1,975 new positive tests and 615 CDC reported hospitalizations and 50 new state reported COVID deaths, as well as 157 new flu deaths. 1,041 flu deaths have been reported in California since January 4th. That is a big number, my friends. Florida reports 435 CDC hospitalizations. That's for COVID now. Georgia, 235 CDC reported hospitalizations and 13 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Also COVID. The rest, I believe, is all going to be COVID. Idaho, 639 emergency department visits and 2 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Illinois, 440 CDC reported hospitalizations and 27 deaths. Iowa, 8 deaths this week. Kansas reports 106 CDC reported hospitalizations and 9 deaths. Louisiana, 993 emergency department visits. Mississippi, 5 deaths. Missouri, 185 CDC reported hospitalizations plus 171 previously unreported hospitalizations over the prior 2 weeks and 22 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Montana, 273 new cases and 2 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Nebraska, 221 new positive tests and a test case positivity rate of 7.4% and 9 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. New Jersey, 339 reported hospitalizations. Oklahoma, 110 CDC reported hospitalizations, a test case rate, positivity rate of 6% and 26 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker per the CDC data tracker. Oklahoma has now exceeded 21,000 total COVID deaths. Pennsylvania, below 1,000 this week for hospitalizations. 945 CDC reported hospitalizations. First week under 1,000 since mid to late December. And 47 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. South Carolina, 173 CDC reported hospitalizations and 9 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. Texas reports 2,508 new cases, 656 CDC reported hospitalizations, and 30 deaths reported by the CDC data tracker. West Virginia, 1,045 new positive tests, including 316 for the week of February 16th through the 22nd, a test case positivity rate of 5.64%, and 6 deaths reported. Wisconsin, 2,044 new positive tests, includes over 1,100 over the past 5 weeks, a test case positivity rate of 5%, and 26 deaths reported. The CDC reports this week that there have been 724 deaths since last week and currently shows 1,222,603 total U.S. COVID deaths since this all started, up from 1,221,879 it was showing last week at this time. Alrighty, thank you so much, CJS, for this update on all the COVID and the California flu numbers from all these different states. It is very appreciated. I appreciate this a lot that you do this. Alrighty, folks, that does it for the Saturday virus update. Tomorrow we will have the Sunday wastewater update. Of course, we will also include whatever news pops up. Tomorrow morning, before we do that update, I'll probably be working on catching up on some of these threads and some things on the website. So you may see some things get moved around or changed a little bit on the website. I'm going to hope to get a few hours in for that tomorrow morning. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. And, of course, leave your comments down below. I will get to your comments faster today, and I'm going to catch up on some of those comments from yesterday. So, see you all again tomorrow. Until I see you again tomorrow, stay safe, everyone, and have a fantastic Saturday evening. Thanks for watching.